Have you ever heard of people talk about relationship banking? Like, what is relationship banking? And if you haven't ever heard of it, it's something that's very important, whether it's personal or if you run a business such as myself. So we're going to talk about what is relationship banking today. My name is Star Carter, and on this channel, we talk personal and business credit, finance, all the stuff that's going to help us level up. So thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. For all my returning and new subscribers, or if you're just checking me out for the first time, much gratitude to y'all, and thank you so much. So let's get into today's video. Relationship banking. I know this term has been thrown around in a lot of other YouTube videos that I've seen, and to me, because I worked in banking for 15 years before I started my business full time, I wouldn't have known what relationship banking is. Like, what is that? Because almost everybody now has a bank account of some sort, because most people get paid, like I would say like 95% of us that get paid is usually direct deposit. So you got to have somewhere where that money is going. So that's where relationship banking can come into play. Relationship banking basically is when you have an account at a bank or a credit union or a savings and loans type bank, that you have your money going into that financial institution. The relationship part comes in is where you actually use their services that they offer, meaning you use your debit card if they have debit cards, you use their online banking, you use e-statements, basically you're using their services, ATM machines, all that jazz goes into relationship banking. It's so important because when you have a relationship with your bank, especially credit unions, especially smaller credit unions, let's put that like that, because some credit unions can be more commercialized like banks are. But when you're dealing with a special credit union, as I was saying, they get to know you personally. So it's like you have a relationship with your friends, your spouse or whatever. It's the same type of relationship because they're getting to know you. Not only are you using their services, but they're used to seeing you come in. You probably know some of the account managers, you may know tellers, blah, blah, blah. It's building a rapport with your financial institution. A lot of people just like to have their money go into an account and then they draw it right back out. Like they may go to the ATM and get all the cash out and just leave whatever you got to leave in to keep the account open. I would tell you to not do that. If you are doing that, stop. Because you want to build a relationship with the bank that has your money, that deals with your money. And it's very important because say if you do not have stellar credit, you need to borrow some money, so you need a loan. Those are the times when a relationship banking, I just said banking relationship, will really come into play. Because if they see that your money comes in all the time, every time you get paid, you're using your debit card or you write checks, or you're using their services, you've never had any issues, you don't have NSFs and stuff like that, you probably can go in and talk with an account manager and see if they cannot help you if you need a loan, because you do have a rapport with the bank. So that gives you a leg up versus if all you do is put your money in the bank and then take it right back out and you don't use their debit card, you don't use their online banking and services, then they have no relationship with you. If you've never gone inside the branch and actually let tellers see you, let account managers see you, if you don't do that, then they have no idea who you are. You're just a number in the computer. But you want to have a relationship. I recommend everybody should have at least a credit union membership if you have a credit union available in your town. Credit unions only have they only can cover a certain mile or radius around them. So you just have to, check into it if you do have a credit union to see if you can join. Most time you can join a credit union by being a family member of somebody that is already in that financial institution. or sometimes you can work, you can live, you can go to church and school within that radius, and that can also give you membership. They call that a community charter versus a SAID group, which is a group of, like, say if you work at a certain place and that credit union is a part of that place, like they work hand in hand with the employees, and employees can go to that credit union. So that's another way that you can also be in a credit union. But I will always say to do that, because credit unions, unlike banks, they are nonprofit, so they are very, very close with their customers, because every dollar that goes into there, it helps keeps interest rates low on loans and help keep them higher on certificates and on savings. You know, they're usually higher than your normal bank in those rates. You want to have a relationship. If you don't have a credit union, definitely, if you have like a community bank in your town, go with the community bank. You know, a bank that may only have 1 or 2 branches. That's great too, because it is still considered a small bank. When you talk about Wells Fargo, Bank of America, now Truist has combined with SunTrust, and BBT has combined to be Truist. So now they're everywhere. And, you know, a lot of the bigger ones, it's so commercialized that it really won't matter if you have a relationship with them or not. Sometimes, I'm not gonna say all the time, but sometimes, because they're gonna just look at your credit, and if you don't have the credit, 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna approve you, whether you've been banking with them forever. You know, some of it just don't work. But that's why I say have an account with a smaller financial institution, and that way you are building a rapport with that institution. And if you do need to own you any money, that's where you want to go first. You don't want to go to finance companies and blah 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 to have this crazy interest rates. You always want to start with your financial institution by having that banking relationship. I hope this makes sense. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing on this channel. I'm gonna try to do more videos. I have been kind of slack, but I really do appreciate you again, and y'all have a wonderful day.